In this short video, I'm going to talk you through the basics of when to order an OCT in the glaucoma clinic and how to use the OCT to influence your management decisions in a useful way. I always do an OCT as a baseline on a patient, and then I would repeat it every year unless you have a patient who is very young or has a very high pressure. So I'm going to start off by looking at a normal scan. So when I'm looking at a scan to start with, I start with the thickness profile. This green line here is the average from the Heidelberg normative database. Now, I'm led to believe it's quite a small database, maybe 900 patients. So it's useful, but it doesn't necessarily reflect the population of patients that we're looking at. This black line here is the patient's actual scan. It's all in the green and it all looks nice. For the majority of the OCT scans, you have two big peaks, the superior peak and the inferior peak. So there are patients where these peaks are slightly offset. I'm going to show you one of those now. So this is a patient where you can see that the peak here is just slightly moved in, and it's also moved slightly in here. Now, in this patient, it doesn't make any difference to the green color, but you can have times where this peak is moved in such that this line down here is appearing red. It's not that it's thinned, it's just that the actual peak has been moved in. And this is almost always symmetrical. So this lady actually has glaucoma, so ignore that bit there. But you can see again that this peak has been moved in. That can be normal. And so the power of these scans is not necessarily comparing it to the normative database. It's comparing it year on year. So in terms of follow-up, one of the things that you can do is look for thinning of the optic nerve. And this is very useful in early glaucoma and it's very useful in pre-parametric. So that's before you have field defects. What you're looking for in a follow-up scan is the difference between the grey line and the black line. I don't know if you can see here, but there is a black line, which is the current scan. And then there is a grey line here, just appearing here and here, which is the baseline. Now, the baseline scan is usually the first scan, but not always. And so you can see that there is very good repeatability of the scans. And if you toggle up, so this is the thickness profile, if you then go into progression, what this analysis does is it takes the average thickness and it repeats it every time it's being done. And so if you toggle over the grey button here, you can see that the average thickness back in 2017 was 80 microns. And here we are kind of 5 years later, and the average thickness is still sitting at 80. Now that you've got more than 5 measurements, it will then give you a slope. So it then allows you to work out what the rate of progression is. And what we say is that if you've got a rate of progression of more than 2 microns per year, that's an alarm bell. That's somebody who's rapidly progressing. So you can see that actually they are very repeatable, and you can pick up a rate of change of 2 microns. And again, so this is another repeated measurement. So the black line is the current scan, and the grey line is the baseline scan. And you can see there is a significant difference between the two of them. And when you look at the progression, you can see that the average thickness back in 2019 was nearly 99. And here we are 2 years later, and it's dropped to 79. And that's giving you a rate of more than 7 a year. So this is somebody who's rapidly progressing. And in fact, she's gone on and had surgery. So baseline is useful to determine whether it's normal or abnormal. Serial monitoring can give you an idea of a rate of progression if you look at the progression analysis. And this is another rapid progressor. So this is the baseline scan of a young patient with very high pressure. You can see that they've got some changes. It may be that the peaks are moved slightly in, but if you look at his progression, his nerve has thinned dramatically, and he again has had surgery. So there are 1 or 2 intraocular anomalies that can throw off the progression analysis in serial measurements. And this is a fairly rare one, but I've seen it a number of times. So this is a patient who's got early glaucoma. This is their first scan. As you're looking at it, you can see there's probably some reduction of the superior peak here, definite reduction of the inferior peak here. So we've done our measurement and then we repeat it the following year. And what happens is that the black line is now above the grey line. So the grey line is the baseline, the black line is saying that things are thicker. That should already alert you to the fact that there's something funny going on. And he has in fact got this little puddle of fluid in the retina. And as you toggle your way through them, which you can do here, you can see that it kind of changes, and there are times when it's there and there are times when it disappears completely. So in that context, you cannot use serial measurements to guide you as to whether things are thinning, because there are other parameters which are altering the thickness of the nerve. As I've said, I would always do a nerve fibre layer scan as a baseline measurement, but in the context of somebody who's got advanced glaucoma, like this patient's mean deviation of their visual field is -22, there's absolutely no recordable tissue. The average here is under 37, so there is no point in repeating that scan because you're not going to see any thinning. In fact, if the average is below about 45, it's probably not worth repeating the scan. So I hope that was useful and of some help. The video is intended for trainees within NHS Tayside, so if you do have any questions, just come and ask me and I'll happily go through them. Thank you.